Right, you join me on an EICR. So this time I'm not going to go through it as in depth as the last video because it's just purely going to be what I see here rather than going to reference the regulations and what have you. Because this is just this is going to be a quick visual. There's going to be no testing or anything like that of this. I want to say 15th edition board, but yeah, let me take a look and show you. I mean, I'll read out the inspection schedule as I'm doing it, but you'll see there's some glaring issues here. So first thing first with this, it's mounted very high. So I'll probably make an observation that it's not sort of aimed at the end user really, it being that high up. Let's get up there. Oh my God, I bet this flap goes on me. It's a technical screwdriver holding it open. Okay, we've got a cover screw missing off of the board. So that could be an observation. If we have a little look up here, that's a little breather hole. That's a speed hole for the fuse board. Yeah, IP fell on the top of it. It's made of metal, so I'm guessing that's a pass on that. We get this flap open. Oh look, the flap actually might hold the lid open perfectly. As you can see, that's been horsed in. He says, shaking that camera. Don't know how well you can see how much that's sticking out and not fit for purpose. Also, if you look here, see it's been attacked and bent out of shape to accommodate these MCBs, which are, I don't think you belong here, gate breaker. Well, I'm gonna get the cover off it and we'll have a little look inside as well. We'll see if it's as bad in as out. Okay, I've got the lid off now, so let's have a look inside. Now, when you're removing lids, you should turn the power off before you start removing the covers. The power is off here, but it's not always practical in certain settings. So yeah, learners out there, get into good practice of it, removing it, because you just don't know what's going to be behind the cover. But I'm just putting it out there that it's not always practical. Anyway, let's have a little look. Swing round. Okay, first things first, that's not the right breaker, is it? RCD for this board. Doesn't seem to sit well, as we said before, so that would be an observation. It's also a type AC RCD, so again, another observation. These breakers seem to be all okay. The buzz bar cover does exist, I've just taken it off just to show what's here. Non-standard type, and the front of the fuse board's been cut away, which seems a bit alarming. There's no signs of thermal damage, even though there's different ones, different makes, so that would just be a C3. Yeah, then we've got our holes in the top, which aren't great. These aren't in sequence. It's not the end of the world, but as you can see, you've got kind of 3 there, and then that's over there, but there's no numbers going on anyway. They seem a bit all over the gaff. They've used black as neutral, which I'm not a fan of, but it's not going to be dangerous, so C3, use a grey as neutral, expertly taped up. Probably should be a bit more green and yellow on that, but yeah, not too much else jumping out at me at the minute. I'm sure I'll notice more as I go along. Seems to be fixed well and what have you. And it's just a bit of a weird one. This is a repurposed building. So this building used to be something else and then been converted into flats like everything else in London. So I'm not sure what it was before, but when it has been changed, it's not being done to a great standard really. Here's a little, this is an NIC form, so we'll just have a quick look through it. So adequacy of workspace, so it's pretty damn high up and not really practical. Security fixing seems to be fixed okay, so I'll put C3 there. Security fixing seems to be okay. Condition of installation of live parts seems okay. Barriers in enclosures, I mean the cover is present and what have you, seems okay. Enclosure not damaged or deteriorated. Now I'll be putting a code about that damaged lip where they've cut it away and making an observation there. No obstacles, this isn't being, I'll go into more details with these, it's just for this one. Main switch is present, operation functional check of RCD, main switches and RCDs. The main switch is the RCD and I've pressed the test button and it has operated and it has turned the power off. Test button's been checked. This isn't being provided for fault protection, so this would be NA. A lot of people just tick, it's not fault protection, it's additional protection. It can be fault protection, don't get me wrong, but In this case, it's not. Now this one, for additional protection, I would put C3 here and note down it's a type AC RCD. This label is present, it's there. No AFDDs here. Presence of diagrams, circuit charts, yada yada. No, so I'll put a C3 there saying that there's nothing present. There's no alternative supply, so it'd be an NA. Next inspection, that's on it, but it's not filled out. It's a bit of a moot point because I'll be putting one on no matter what. So yeah, anyway. Any other labels required? None are required here. There's no solar PV or anything like dual supply or anything like that. Now this one I'll be putting C3 in because of all the different compatibility of devices, because they're all different and it's been horsed in. So that's definitely one I'll be having a look at, making a code on even. Single pole, so they are switching the lives. I haven't tested yet, but I'm assuming they're switching the lives and not got the colours around the wrong way. Protection against mechanical damage. There are grommets as it enters the consumer unit, and there's nothing that's, sorry, it's not focusing very well. There's nothing that's passing through separate holes on that fuse board on the metal enclosure, so that'd be a pass. So that's what we'd be checking on our fuse board. Those sections there. There's other bits that might be like identification of conductors on distribution circuits. So the one coming in, I might put a code there, but that's just a basic, great camera work again. That's just a basic look at this one, just to sort of show you, because every board's going to be different, and then depending on the age of the installation, the different standards of installation as well. So like today we will have stuffing glands that will fit round twin and earth cables, and whereas before it was, I'm not saying it was right, but just putting a couple of bits for a grommet was okay. But yeah, I'm going to go through each bit like I did in the other video and try and reference it to regulations so we can better understand it. But I'm also going to do videos like this where it's just on the fly showing you what I find on particular jobs if it's something interesting and unique. I won't just keep churning out, so I won't show you one of these boards again, but yeah, you get what I mean. So 3036 and different types of dBs, like a 17th, an 18th, 16th, 15th, that kind of thing. And so you can get an idea of what to expect and what to look out for in those particular boards. So yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be the end of the video, so but if it is, see you later. Right, one last thing I want to add is that there's nothing, everything that I'm saying here is opinion based, my engineering judgment. So there may be others that have a different opinion, and that's not to say that those are wrong. The important thing is that you can stand up in court if need be and explain your decisions. So if something went wrong, say I'd done an EICR here and it caught fire afterwards and I said it was satisfactory, I have to stand up in court and justify my decision. So that's what's important here. So this isn't a how-to, this is just showing you some of the things that you may come across. So with the distribution side, it's going to be lots of videos with different types of fuse boards with the common faults, just so you can get an idea and what to expect, even how to take them apart, that kind of thing. So the series might be a bit sporadic because I just never know what I'm going to come across day to day. But yeah, it's just one thing I wanted to get across. And as much as I want to do as much as I can to help and teach, it's down to you at the end of the day. You're the one that makes the final decision, and you're the one that has to stand up in court if the worst happens. So yeah, a bit of a bleak ending, but it's just something I want to get across. But yeah, I'll try and make some more as I go along, and I'll do an in-depth of the section regarding the regs and what have you at a later date. Okay.